Hey, what's good people? DJ D-phlo here. I've got my XDJ1000 MK1 multiplayer here in front of me. I've got a very minor issue, or depending on how you look at it, the version of this particular player, the firmware version on this particular player is outdated at the current moment. It was up to date, but I recently took this CD player in for repairs and it reverted it back to the original firmware. That's because I needed to change the motherboard or main board of this particular deck. Right, so the original version or firmware version of this particular deck is version 1.03. That is what it's on at the moment. The current most up-to-date firmware for the MK1 is 1.13. It's extremely important for you to keep your CD players up to date. Keep your firmware up to date so that it functions as it's intended to function. So now what I'm going to show you is how you go about firstly seeing whether or not your deck is up to date or not. Obviously that you need to check online and see whether or not there are any firmwares that are made available for you. So to update your firmware on your deck, all you're going to need is your USB. You're going to need to download the actual firmware. I'll show you on the screen, maybe over there. And then you need to go onto your deck and see whether or not your deck is up to date. Let me show you how you do that. So how do you go about seeing the version on the XDJ1000 specifically? When the deck switches on number one, you can see over here, version 1.03. And if you miss that, you can just go to menu, press and hold, and it's going to bring up all these settings here. So scroll all the way down to the bottom and you'll see version number 1.03. The current version that is supposed to be on this deck is 1.13. Let's go on to showing you how you need to update it. So like I said, all you need is a USB and download the actual software of the website. So now you need to switch the deck off firstly. Oh yeah, just one more thing. Ensure that your USB is formatted to FAT32 before you try this. Let's get it updated. Here's the USB. All you do is put that software onto here. Make sure that you unzip that file that you download. And then when you switch on the deck, don't put on the stick yet, switch on the deck, and then you're going to hold on to reloop and in. What's it called? Loop in. So these two simultaneously when you switch on the deck so that you can get into firmware update. Okay, let's go on to that. Press them down, keep them there. And you'll see on the screen, it will tell you to insert the USB. There we go. Connect USB device to the top port. Here's my USB device. Go onto there. There we go. And it will immediately go into the next page and it starts updating. As you can see, the bottom version is what it's currently, it's not on that, it's actually updated. It's from 103 to 113 and it's on 13% at the moment. So it's going to update and then I'm going to show you after it's done updating. Oh yeah, also make sure that you have nothing else in that USB. So format the USB and then download that software. The software itself, the attachment itself, use that. Don't put it in a folder or anything like that. Just hoy it onto the stick and then it'll work perfectly. It shows you there, firmware update is complete. Turn the power off and on before using. 100% as you can see. Great stuff. I'm going to turn it off now. Let's take the USB out. Let's turn it back on. Let's see. Remember it was on 1.03. And now it's on 1.13. Yay. Let's go to menu. Version 1.13. Okay guys, I hope that helps out. Guys with CDJ 350s, check your firmware. Sharp.